The Golden Bachelorette, should Chock make more sacrifices for Joan? March 7, 2025. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Bachelor Nation. News: Chock Chapel won the inaugural season of The Golden Bachelorette, but his affinity for Wichita may point to trouble with Joan Vassos. I believe if Chock wants this relationship to last, he'll need to make more sacrifices than he has been making. For one, he might have to change cities. Although Joan and Chock seem to really love each other after meeting on The Golden Bachelorette Season 1, the distance might tear them apart. Long-distance relationships are notoriously difficult, and relationships require sacrifice. Will Chock be able to give up his beloved home in the name of love, and can their relationship survive if he doesn't? Chock Chapel's 9-year engagement sets a precedent. Chock and Joan hit it off immediately on The Golden Bachelorette, and Joan decided to spend her first one-on-one date with him. Their connection stayed strong throughout the series, and Chock proposed to Joan. While the engagement happened quickly, Chock's past indicates he may not rush the rest of their relationship. Chock was formerly engaged to Catherine Gorey, who passed away after a lengthy battle with brain cancer. The two were engaged for 9 years but never tied the knot. His past shows he's used to taking commitments slowly and really analyzing if he wants to tie himself to someone legally. While Joan might be on the same page, she may want to wed faster than Chock is used to. After all, life is short. Chock may need to sacrifice his usual lifestyle if he wants to prove his love and keep Joan around. Chock doesn't want to leave Wichita. Chock has been very open about his love for Wichita. In fact, his Instagram bio begins with the name of the city. In that bio, he tags The Golden Bachelorette and his own insurance business. Although he admits his family has moved away, he's built a life for himself in Kansas, and he clearly hopes Joan also takes a liking to the city. According to him, Joan's already fallen in love with the low cost of living and the cheap foot massages available in town. However, Joan loves the East Coast. She's originally from Maryland and has had her sights set on New York City. Recently, Joan traveled to NYC without Chock to host a podcast with fellow Bachelor Nation alum Charity Lawson. Chock stayed in Wichita instead of accompanying his fiancée when it meant leaving his beloved home. If Joan has her heart set on settling down on the East Coast, I think Chock will need to move to be with her or the relationship may not survive. Is Chock used to being the boss? Chock is the owner of Insurance Services Group, a full-service insurance agency. The agency is based out of Wichita, another reason Chock may find it hard to move for Joan. As the owner of a company, Chock is probably used to being the boss and having the final say. However, relationships are about compromise, and I doubt Chock will be able to get everything he wants from the relationship without some trade-offs. He may need to give something up to make his relationship with Joan work, whether that's his beloved city or his usual long engagement. The Golden Bachelorette. Should Chock make more sacrifices for Joan? The shocking truth fans can't ignore. The fairy tale or a future disaster. Joan Vassos, the beloved Golden Bachelorette, has captivated audiences with her grace, charm, and search for love. Among the suitors vying for her heart, one man has stood out: Chock Chapel. The distinguished contestant has consistently showcased his unwavering commitment to Joan, but as the competition heats up, fans are left wondering, is Chock sacrificing too much for Joan, and should he be doing even more? Chock's devotion. Too much, too soon? From the moment he stepped onto The Golden Bachelorette, Chock made it clear that he was ready to give his all for Joan. Week after week, he has proven his devotion, whether through heartfelt gestures, romantic moments, or by making significant life changes to accommodate Joan's desires. But is this level of commitment too extreme for a budding relationship? Sources close to the production claim that Chock has already started making plans to relocate if Joan chooses him in the end. He's serious about her, but at what cost? An insider spills. Fans have noticed that while Joan appreciates his efforts, she hasn't necessarily reciprocated with the same level of sacrifice. Joan's expectations. Is she asking for too much? Joan, a woman who has been through heartbreak and loss, deserves a love story worthy of her journey. However, some viewers believe she may be unintentionally leading Chock down a path of compromise that he may later regret. Rumors suggest that Joan has spoken openly about her desire to remain close to family and continue the life she has built. But with Chock's willingness to change everything for her, is she expecting him to make all the sacrifices while she remains comfortably where she is? Love is about compromise, says a former Bachelor contestant. But if only one person is doing all the adjusting, that's not fair. The other suitor's perspective. Are they seeing red flags? Chock isn't the only man vying for Joan's heart. Pascal Ebie and the other finalists have expressed concerns over how much Chock is willing to give up for Joan. Chock is an incredible guy, one contestant confesses. But I think he needs to realize that relationships are about balance. If he keeps sacrificing and she doesn't, that's a recipe for disaster. Many fans agree. We love Chock, but we don't want him to be a doormat, one Reddit user wrote. Joan needs to show she's willing to compromise too. Relationship experts weigh in. Is this healthy? According to dating experts, relationships thrive on mutual sacrifice, not one-sided devotion. If Chock gives up his career, his home, and his personal desires to be with Joan, but she isn't willing to do the same, resentment could build over time, warns a relationship coach. Others argue that love sometimes requires leaps of faith. Maybe Chock is just so in love with Joan that he sees this as a natural step, another expert suggests. But he needs to ensure that he isn't losing himself in the process. The fan divide. Is Chock making the right move? The Golden Bachelorette fanbase is split. Some admire Chock's commitment and believe he's setting an example of true love, while others fear he's setting himself up for heartbreak. One viral tweet reads, "Chock is a gem, but Joan needs to step up. Love should go both ways." Another fan argues, Chock is just proving he's ready for love. Maybe Joan needs a man like him who is willing to go all in. What's next for Chock and Joan? As the Golden Bachelorette nears its finale, the burning question remains, will Joan recognize Chock's sacrifices and meet him halfway, or will she continue to let him carry the weight of their potential future? More importantly, should Chock keep making these sacrifices, or is it time for him to draw a line? With emotions running high and the final decision looming, one thing is certain. Chock Chapel's journey on the Golden Bachelorette is far from over, and fans can't wait to see how this love story unfolds. What do you think? Should Chock keep making sacrifices for Joan, or is he giving up too much? Let us know in the comments. Joan's independence. Can Chock handle it? Joan is a strong, independent woman. She has built a fulfilling life for herself, and she's not looking for someone to take over. She's looking for a partner to walk beside her. While Chock has been incredibly supportive and encouraging, there have been moments when fans have questioned whether he truly understands just how independent Joan is. Chock has made it clear that he enjoys traditional roles in relationships, and while that isn't necessarily a bad thing, does it align with Joan's vision for her future? If he isn't willing to adjust his expectations and let Joan take the lead at times, could that be a deal breaker? The final rose. Will Joan choose Chock? As the finale draws closer, the tension is palpable. Will Chock step up and make the sacrifices needed to win Joan's heart? Or will he ultimately fall short in proving that he is the right man for her future? While Chock and Joan share a beautiful connection, love in the Golden Bachelorette world isn't just about romance. It's about making real-life decisions that shape the future. If Chock truly wants to spend his golden years with Joan, he may need to show that he's willing to step outside his comfort zone embrace change, and make sacrifices that prove his love is more than just words. So, what do you think? Should Chock be doing more to show he's serious about Joan? Or is he already the perfect match, just as he is? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.